Welcome to our Africa Tech segment. Agri-tech is one space that's proven to be the next big thing for startups. With the application of various technological innovations to improve efficiency and output, a number of agri-tech startups are creating solutions to eliminate farm losses. Agri-tech, which is the use of technology in agriculture, horticulture, and aquaculture to improve yield and profitability, has helped optimize the farming process. In Nigeria, agri-tech startups have continued to tackle some of the challenges farmers face by streamlining the agricultural value chain. However, more needs to be done to make the process easier and provide the necessary support to scale. Joining us now via Skype is Jerry Oche, co-founder of Zowasel, to discuss how technology can be leveraged to boost the agricultural sector. Thank you, Jerry, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good to have me.
Let me start by asking you, help us understand the concept of agri-tech.
Well, it's a simple concept. Just like you rightly said, it's about using technology to empower agriculture. It's about deploying technological solutions across the agricultural value chain, from planting, preparation, planting, cultivation, and down to processing, and even down to taking it to the market. As well, it gives us the opportunity for us to track what is going on in that sector.
Yeah, placing technology and agriculture side by side, how well would you say they complement each other?
I think that's funny because so what we've seen now going on is for some time in the last decade we've just been doing our agricultural activity manually, but now what we've seen is the use of technology to, like I said, to empower all the processes. So I think that is not the way to go, and that is not the best way we can actually use technology right now to given our economic situation and the advantage we find ourselves. So I think technology is not the way to enable us utilize our agricultural potential.
Now, agri-tech startups, they've continued to tackle some of the challenges farmers face. I want to ask you about, especially about the low-cost invasion in East Africa. How do you think technology can help in, in ending that menace?
Well, so the good part about technology is it gives opportunity to track what is going on, analyze that kind of data, and of course use it for a meaningful solution. So if you look at what is going on across Eastern Africa, and even our neighbors in Cote d'Ivoire here, you see that they are utilizing technology more than we're doing. But of course, we are lucky now. We have a lot of startups who are focused on tech across the country. So I think there's a lot we can do, actually analyzing data, utilizing data in that sector.
Yeah, I was going to ask about, startups. One issue startups in this agri-tech value chain is the level of farmers' literacy. What is your opinion on that?
Well, so again, it still gives us opportunity for us to innovate because as much as we say our farmers are illiterate, they are probably illiterate in English. They speak their own local languages, they understand their own local languages. So I think we need to begin to customize our solutions to speak to what they understand. That is just the best way to go, because if you want them to understand English, it's going to be difficult. The good news is that we have a high rate of mobile penetration, which is good for us. So meaning that with a little effort trying to innovate in local languages, these guys have mobile technology available to them now, so we can actually get them to understand what we are saying. It doesn't matter the language we use. The idea is for them to be able to utilize these technologies in their own local dialects.
Yeah, and with technology, you can expect challenges. What are some of the challenges, agri-tech startups can face, and how can they overcome those challenges?
So I think, again, the basic challenge that we face right now in this sector is the challenge of having smallholder farmers who are not very organized. So you have to, first of all, put them in clusters, organize them in that kind of manner where you want to do them. And if you notice our kind of farmers, you notice that over 75% of our farmers are smallholder farmers. So that in itself is a tax, meaning that a lot of them do 1 to 3 hectares. So it's not something very attractive that you need to make some commercial value. So except you go put them into clusters, into cooperative associations. I think that itself is a major challenge. Another challenge, again, is, of course, internet penetration. Like we said, is still not very, we're still not there. And again, if you look at some of the farmers that we have in rural areas, they don't use smartphones, which is more difficult. So again, these challenges provide opportunity for us to innovate how we can see using a kind of easy technology that we can actually make them to understand what we're doing and use what we actually have on stage. Against using smartphones or just applications, we have to innovate to basic technology that these guys can use and understand.
All right, then, Jerry Oche, thank you so much for speaking to us. Jerry Oche is the CEO and founder of Zowasel. Thank you for speaking to us on Africa Tech.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Speaking about technology in a different way back here in Nigeria, let's meet John Amanam. He's a 32-year-old former special effects expert who makes dark skin prosthetics to boost his patients' confidence. Now, most prosthetic body parts available in the country until now have been white or made from materials such as wood that look unrealistic, but his creations are hyper-realistic prosthetics that match Nigerian skin tones.
Wow. Michael Sunday is delighted, if a little stunned, as he admires his new right hand, a silicone glove-like prosthetic meant to help him return to normal life after he lost 3 fingers in a car accident a year ago. The prosthetic has a hyper-realistic feel and usually is dark in color, matching perfectly the tone of Sunday's skin.
It has really helped me because I can go about my normal life without looking at my hand, without hiding my hands, or fear of discrimination or fear of pity.
His voice choked with emotion as he looked at the prosthetic for the first time. The artist behind the creation is John Amanam, a 32-year-old former movie special effects expert. He developed an interest in prosthetics after a family member lost a limb in an accident.
I became emotional about the amputees. I discovered that I had 1 or 2 people who had amputations around me, and they had this feeling of discomfort whenever they were around normal people. And I saw it as a challenge, that if I could give back or solve this need, to go a long way to ease them of that emotional trauma of discomfort and that loss of courage.
So he started making prosthetic fingers, hands, arms, legs and ears in 2017. Depending on the size and complexity of the prosthetic, it takes 3 weeks to 2 months to make one. Amanam said mismatched skin tone makes it more difficult for people to feel confident with their artificial limbs.
We have prostheses who are made of white skin. You rarely find people with black skin prostheses. So I want the blacks, I want Africans in particular, to have a feel, to be closer, to have these needs solved within Africa. And I want to reach out to blacks all over the world as well, so we can have these processes accessible and at an affordable rate.
Amanam has no formal training in making prosthetics, but studies sculpting as an art student. The pieces are sold for at least 40,000 naira. His company, Immortal Cosmetic Art, is part of a growing services industry that has helped Nigeria's economy become the biggest in Africa.
Well, that is just very creative. And that's it on the program today and for the week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Layo Adegoke. Have a lovely weekend.